What's happening, everybody? Amp Capo here, Black Adonis Games. We are inside of my project here, working in Lyra. And I got these new trees, man. I'm going to definitely add them to the project. You guys will see them in the levels. They're actually already in the level. Thing is that they're very heavy. They were actually designed as to be used with lumen and nanite in Unreal Engine 5.1 and above. Um, the only thing I really saw, I had to basically export these and re-import these into Unreal Engine 5. I do have the whole project in 5.2, by the way, if I did not let you guys know. I will be showing that soon. I'm just trying to clean some things up and get the map a little bit cleaner because it is not performing as well as 5.03. So anyway, guys, what I'm gonna be showing you here today is how to simplify meshes inside of Unreal Engine so that we can hopefully speed these renders up and get this flowing a little bit faster using these trees that I want to use. Anyway, guys, I've turned the bots off and I've turned off my spawner as well, so we can just get a clean just with the trees in, just to see how much these are actually using. I'm going to go ahead and blow this up to full screen right quick. All right, so it looks like we're getting, and this is with me recording as well, looks like we're getting around 50, probably between 47 and 50. Oh wow, even dipped down to 45. So we'll say somewhere between 45 and 50 we're getting with these. And I love them. They're beautiful. Just what I need for my project. So I went ahead and picked these up, and like I said, they're just really heavy. I've already made LODs for these, so I've already taken care of the LODs, so they do at least have that. That's why it's down to 50. This was actually running when I first put these in. It was actually running about, I want to say, probably like 30 frames per second. All right, and this is on high, I believe, as well. So yeah, I believe this is on high. All right, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and stop this, and we're just going to go in and we're going to start working on actually breaking these down. And I'm going to start with the first one, which is should be tree number 1, should be up here. All right, so we're going to start up here with tree number 1. We are going to go ahead and I'm just going to highlight tree number 1. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is go and see how many triangles and vertices this is made up of. And so you can see here in the top corner, and I'm going to turn off this FPS here really fast so we can see we already got the red text here. And we're just going to look and see that there's 619,622 triangles here. And then there's 448,092 vertices, okay? So that's what we're working with, okay? So now I'm going to show you guys how we can break this down, all right? And this is the easiest way that I've learned to do it. And we're going to do it in a smart way as well. We're going to work smart. Okay, smarter, not harder. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to want to do is go to tree number 1 here. We're just going to make a copy of it. So let's go ahead and duplicate it. And then we're just going to rename it. And I just put the same name. And all I did was add the word simplified. And you can call yours whatever you want. I just put this as an easy way for me to know which ones I'm working on. All right, so this will be the simplified tree. All right, and we are going to also, since I created a folder, we're going to go ahead and move this into the simplified for gameplay. And then I can still keep using these other ones if I want for cinematics, but I don't see any reason to use them at all once we do what we're doing here. So they've already got the LODs made. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go in and I've got my tree 15 that I've done already. We've got tree, it's calling it 17, but we know this is actually tree 1. So let me go ahead and fix that right quick so I'm not confusing myself. It just named it the next highest available number. So there we go. So now we know this is tree 1 simplified. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to drag this tree in. Okay. And it should be facing exactly the same way. I made sure that I didn't rotate any of the trees so that I can do a good comparison. All right. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do is go into your modeling. Okay. And we'll be doing several of these things in several different little short videos. I'll be showing you guys some of these things, but for now, we're going to go down to the one here that says mesh ops. Okay. And we're going to go to simplify. You're just going to click on simplify and it's going to build the mesh data and it's going to make this is what you should be seeing red on all of your actual foliage, and then the mesh itself down here, the mesh will all have this yellow or gold around it and be grayed out like this. All right, and I already tested my settings. You can choose what you want. There are different types here and it will actually explain to you what they are. Like this is the fastest standard quadric errors metric. All right, and then you can set your what mode you want. You can do it by triangle count, by vertex count, edge length, or percentage. I just leave this on percentage. I'm fine with just using percentage. I don't change any of these other settings, guys. I haven't messed with any of these yet, so I'm not going to go over any of these yet. All right, when I do these, I'll probably make another video and then just update the new things that I've discovered. So anyway, guys, the method that I like to use here, because you can see that it explains here, higher quality takes the normal into account. Okay, then you got UE standard, highest quality reduction. You got this existing positions, edge collapse to existing vertices only, quality may suffer. And then you got the minimal shape preserving. Okay, and then we've got the minimal polygroup preserving. All right. So what I like to use is the UE standard. This one works really well, and I've already found a number for myself. I actually used 35%. It was like the threshold before it started making weird artifacts for me. You'll have to test this. This is a per mesh thing. I'll have to look around this mesh and see if this still holds up for this mesh as well. All right, so now once you've got your settings set, all you simply have to do is wait on it to calculate. And what I do is just move around. You'll wait a second and it's going to take a little second and you're going to see this blue accept should light up once it has everything figured out. All right. And it's taking a little bit of time. And there it goes. So now you'll see right here, now we can go ahead and press accept. And it's going to take a little bit of time. And guys, the reason why you want to make copies is because you don't want to do this to your original mesh, because if you get it wrong, now you've got the mesh kind of screwed up. I don't think there's an undo to this. This actually is changing your mesh. So just do the logical thing and go ahead and make a copy and work on the copy. Always make copies, guys. Come on, it's the basics. All right. But anyway, there it goes. All right, so now what we can do is we can go in and take a look at this, and we're going to compare it to the other number 1 here. And what I'm going to do also is I want to drag it a little bit closer. All right, and we're just going to take a look around, and we're going to like not highlight either one of them. And we're just going to take a look around them, and we're going to go in close as well, because you want to make sure that there's no artifacts when it comes to your actual the textures on here. And what was happening is sometimes you'll see stretch marks where the mesh has been stretched or moved, and so the texture doesn't look correct in those positions. And this one, like I said, the 35% on the UE looks really amazing. At least that's been my threshold so far. That's worked really well for pretty much every mesh. And if you look down and just look at these, they look pretty much identical. It looks really amazing. Um, Up close, it looks exactly the same. I mean, we've chopped it down, I'm sure, quite a bit here, but they look pretty much virtually identical. Um, and in gameplay, you're gonna be running, you're gonna be moving. No one's gonna be taking the time to just sit here and go, "Oh, let's look at this tree real close." All right, so, but if you do, you're gonna see that it pretty much looks the same. Really, really close. It still looks just as good as this one does. If you look here, this is the other one right up close, and it looks just as good. All right. So the next thing we're gonna do now is we're gonna check and see how much we save. So we can go back out of this now into select mode. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to highlight both trees. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open this tree, which is the original. We said it's 619,000. All right, and so I've already got the LODs on it, like I said. So if I go ahead and I run back off of this, we're going to see how small this gets. And it'll break down when you're at a distance. It should have 3 LODs, I believe. So it'll break down to 77,000 triangles and 76,000 vertices. All right, so that's really good. Yeah, that's really good, but it's not as good as what we just did. Let's go take a look at what we just did. All right, so keep that in mind. We have 600, and we're gonna go ahead and I'll just move it like this so that we can see both. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and open this one now, and we're gonna move this over here. This will be the comparison. And this one is a whopping 216,000. So look at that, guys. We saved over 400,000. We shaved off over 400,000 triangles. And then the vertices is even more. No, around the same, a little bit less actually of vertices. Obviously, it's the vertices, but we went from 448 down to 179. So that's still less than half of the vertices that we've chopped off. We've chopped off more than half of the vertices here. So, and if you look at them, guys, they pretty much look identical, dude. There's like really not much difference in them at all. They both look really good. But now when we take this one out and we go into shrinking this, increasing our distance, I should say, you're going to see that now when we go out, the LODs are going to be way smaller. So we go out 1, 2, and then we should have one more, a third. I don't think we'll ever get it that far away to be a third in gameplay. I really doubt it. It goes down to 27,000. But that's still amazing. So basically the distance that we'll normally probably get it down to LOD 2, which is 54,000. And that's awesome. That's going to be really a great savings compared to what it was before. We could also try to reload it. So I could go to, I'm going to make a level architecture. And this is how you do auto LODs, guys. It's not really difficult at all. You can literally, they have presets here that you can use. It takes a little minute for it to process, but it will process it, and then you will have the LODs different. I'm just going to switch it out and then switch it back and see if it changes anything about the size and distance, because it seems that it's changed a little bit now that I've taken the triangle count down. It seems like it's not activating as soon as it was before. Like it's going to the 0 LOD really fast here, and here we have to get really close. If you notice here, it goes out to 1 about there. And this one, look at how far the screen size is before it finally switches. So that's that is something that we can change manually as well. I'm going to go ahead and put this back to a large prop and go ahead and process it again as a large prop. And now it says it's at the 0 already. So it's like it's keeping it at 0 the whole time. No, it's just letting it go out really far before it switches. That is something that we can actually control and change. And you can find videos of doing that all over the internet, but you literally can go in and you can go to the reduction settings, and we can change the screen size and the triangle count percentage and things like that to get each transition to happen where we want it to happen at. All right, so this should be good though, and this should be a big improvement. Even if it's snapping at that distance, it's going by screen size. All right, so we'll see how it does. So now that we got that done, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to replace the one in the scene with the new version. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and delete this version. Make sure you do a save all so that you save all of your work that you did, which wasn't very much. It was literally changing a few settings and clicking a button, but still you want to save it. All right, and then what we can do now is we should be able to right click on this and say replace actors with, and we can go ahead and put the tree 1 simplified, and there it is. So now that should be in the scene. All right, and I'm going to go through it one more time with you guys, and then after that I'm just going to do all of them, and then I'm going to test and see if I saved any quality by doing this. All right, well, saved any quality. Well, I saved the quality, obviously. I want to see if I increase my frame rate and if I save any memory is what I mean to say by doing all this. So let's go through it one more time. We're going to go ahead. We're going to make a copy of the tree that we want to work on. So what we can do is go back. This is tree number 2. So what we're going to do is go to tree number 2. We're going to go ahead and duplicate tree number 2. All right, and we're going to call this tree number 2 simplified, or whatever you want to call yours. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and drag that into our simplify for gameplay folder. Go ahead and do a save all. And then we're going to go ahead and go to tree 2 simplified. And we are going to drag a copy of it into our map here. And this will be next to the other tree 2, which is here. All right. And we are going to go ahead and open our modeling. Come down here to mesh ops. We're going to click simplify. It's going to build that mesh data. You should see your McDonald's colored object. All right, and then it should save once you do it one time in your project for that session. It should save all the information. Like it still already has my percentage, everything saved. And that way you can test it, but make sure you look around each thing, item every time that you simplify it, just to make sure, because the setting may be a little different for each item. All right. Now that it's built, you can see here, it says accept. We can go ahead and accept these settings. And if the settings do show any stretching or tearing, just delete the item and start again. You know, reduplicate it and start again. I haven't, like I said, since I've put it on these settings, this threshold has been really good. I probably could even bring it down a little more and I would still be good. But the branches, I've just checked everything and there's like literally no tearing or stretching. It really looks good. And this item looks like it's 100% good. We're going to go ahead and see how many we saved on this. Let's go ahead. And we got our regular tree, which should already be opened. which is here. And this one had 585,000 triangles and 430,000 vertices. All right. And I'm just checking the lot distance on this. And this one looks like I haven't done the LODs for it yet, guys. So we'll go ahead and do these right quick just so you can see the difference. Because as you see, I'm going out. Screen size is changing, but nothing is happening with the vertices. So this doesn't have any LODs. We can't use nanite support on this in Unreal Engine 5 because obviously the foliage. I wish they would have just gone ahead and fixed that in 5 because it would really run awesome. I think it probably would work better than it works in the newer engines. I'm just guessing it would if they coded it in. Anyway, let's go ahead and we're going to go and we're going to make our LODs right quick. I'm just going to pick a group. And what I did for these is called them large props or level architecture. Either one of those is good for this object. So I just called these large props. You're going to say yes. It's going to say changing LOD group will override the current settings with the defaults from LOD group large prop. Do you wish to continue? So if you had already done some, or if there were LODs already that came in and you wanted to restructure them, you could do this. But if there's no LODs, you can use this as well. And each different category provides you with a different distance versus reduction setting. All right. And it takes a little second to do this because it's basically generating your 3 or 4 different meshes depending on what setting you pick. You could get 3 or 4, and you can even add more. You could say you want 6. You can chop it up kind of how you want to, depending on how far these items could possibly get away from the camera on your map. All right. And as usual, I do want to thank all the people who have subscribed to the channel since the last video. I do definitely appreciate you guys. And the last videos haven't been getting as much play. I haven't been able to use Reddit. So guys, please tell your friends, tell everybody that you know. It's just been a little bit harder. When I was able to post on Reddit, I just got a lot more plays. And now that Reddit's doing its little whatever's going on, everyone's kind of, not really using it right now. So Reddit, get it together, man. All right, so let's go ahead and we are going to save that. And we're going to go ahead and we did compare. Now we're now that we added the LODs to this, all right, you'll see here now that it is reducing. This is the simplified version. Our triangle count is 204. And if we go to our original and open it, our triangle count was 585,000. So once again, we've chopped it basically more than half. And the same thing on the vertices, more than halfway reduced it. All right. And as you can see, this version looks just fine as compared to this version. They look pretty much virtually identical to the naked eye. There is not much of a difference at all, if at all noticeable, like I said, by human eye contact. So this is really good. This is probably going to save a lot of memory for me and a lot of GPU processing time. So I'm going to go ahead and do all the rest of these guys, and then I'm going to bring the video back and I'm going to show you guys if we gained any frames or if we did not. This is not a large level as my actual map, so we'll see what happens in this smaller.